ever had a dreams that you could don't do skid you don't do skid you want don't do skid you could don't do skid you don't do.
What's up, y'all? CJ Moto here. Hope y'all are doing well. I just got done with a work week. That was kind of a rough one coming out of the Southern Nats. I was worn out after that race. But anyhow, it went well. I got my TQ in second place in my sportsman truggy class. It went really well. There were like 30 in that class. And then in e-buggy, I got 16th out of, I don't know, 50 or 55. In sportsman, I don't know. I just drive my e-truggy better. And the e-buggy I was not being consistent enough with it. So that was my problem. There was a 6-pack like you guys probably saw. I'll roll some video after this video if you want to check it out. But there was like a 6-pack or whoop section, whatever you want to call it. But like there was 6 of them, and you could like triple it. You could double it. You could quad in and double out. And I was doing all different combinations of that all weekend. But that sucker was like the great equalizer on that track. Like from pro class. Like Joe Bornhorst had a run where he was struggling with that section. I mean, everybody was struggling with that section. Probably the best that I noticed running on it was like Ryan Lutz looked amazing through it. Ryan Lutz, like, I don't think he drove the fastest out of everyone that weekend necessarily, but as far as being like the smoothest driver I've ever seen, like he was hands down like just the most precise, smoothest, just his throttle control is like absolutely insane. But anyhow, yeah, it was a really fun time. And then it's been an interesting learning experience. Post Southern Nationals is a time of distress for some people. And it is a time of just bitching and moaning, really, honestly. Like all the sandbagging arguments. People are sandbagging sportsman class. People are sandbagging open class. Pros, you have 3 classes in RC. You have sportsman, open, and pro. A lot of you guys watching this already know what I'm talking about. But back in the day, it used to just be one class, and in Roar, that is the way it is. So you have like bracket racing, like everyone qualifies together, and then they break them down into like an A, B, C, D, and E main. Well, a lot of the races nowadays are like sportsman class, open class, and pro class. And at these events, some of the pro level drivers at certain events are moving down to open class and they're cleaning house. And then to me, the whole thing just kind of trickles down because like I'm going to stay in sportsman longer if a bunch of the open drivers are bumping out at open because they know that the top of their class is being filled with pro drivers. So it's just a whole mess. But I really am kind of disappointed in the amount of negativity there is. It's just, I do understand people get agitated. I've been on both sides of the thing, and I'm sure maybe some racers have, and then maybe some of the slower guys have never been on the other side of it where you're actually like maybe called a sandbagger, or you've just seen, like when I first got into racing at my first big event at Mike's Hobby Shop for RC Pro Series, I was like kind of annoyed because a lot of these guys were just super fast. They were running like the top 8 to 10 sportsman drivers were driving as fast as half of the field in open. So, but now in quick succession, you know, in the last few months, I've gotten faster a little bit, and now I'm moving up to where I'm getting fast, and it's just like it kind of. It's really sad that like as soon as you get to the point where you're doing well at some of these big events in your class, people are automatically going to be dogging on you. Oh, he's sandbagging this and that. And it's like, I don't really know how people can be saying I've been sandbagging. Personally, if this is my first year racing seriously, like I've dabbled in racing before, but I've never been serious into it. And then there's other people that have been racing for years that are racing open, and I mean, it's called open class. But anyhow, I'm kind of rambling. But in a nutshell, it's just like, have a good time. Like, if somebody wants to run open class, I mean, the class is called open class. So, like, I don't really understand what the problem is. I don't really understand what the problem is, regardless in any of it. And if they really, the biggest thing to take away from it is there's no solution to it and it's not racers' faults. It is the fault of the whole it's the fault of the race organizers and the whole people that run the races. It's like the way it's set up. There's no clear guidance on like who's a sportsman. How long are you a sportsman? How many years is that? Because there's people I'm racing against in sportsmen that have been racing for 10 years. Okay, well, is that too long to be a sportsman? No one knows because there's no direction there. So just take it, I would really not be, I would be totally fine with it if they just ran everyone together. So say if you showed up to the Southern Nats and there was 60 truggies and there was just one class, and then you run all 60 of the truggies together just like they do at the Roar events. And then people do their first qualifier, 12 people per class, and then they restack them and they put them in order. A main gets all the fastest guys. B main gets the next fastest guys. C main gets the next fastest guys. And then the top three in each one of those events, they do a AAA main with all the same drivers. They bump the top two or whatever. And then you get, the top three in A main gets a plaque or a trophy. Top three in B main gets a plaque or a trophy. Top three in C main gets a plaque or a trophy. And it just goes like that. But it just really gets nasty. Like, I have no problem going back and forth. Everyone knows I love to get on it with people and ruffle some feathers. It is true, I do. But it's like, there's no need for name calling. There's no need to start swearing. There's no need to, like, start saying the F word when you're talking about a 5-year-old kid. Because that's the other thing. Like, at these events, you have kids are great at RC car racing. A lot of them, you get them started young and they clean house. And you have these grown men that are 30, 40 years old getting smoked. Obliterated by 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-year-olds. And then they're swearing on the forums, freaking out because they're getting beat by a 9-year-old. Well, if you're getting beat by a 9-year-old or a 5-year-old, then maybe you might want to step back down to sportsman. Maybe you're not an open driver yet. Maybe you're just not a very good racer at RC cars. I don't know that I don't know that being super fast at racing RC cars is for everyone. I don't know that I'll ever get to the level I want to be at with it. I think I will, but anyhow, that's that. And then the other thing I want to talk about is when I say like MKS servos are the shit, I'm not saying it because I'm sponsored by MKS servos. I'm not sponsored by MKS servos. When I say I love Phantom batteries, like this Phantom 5200 milliamp battery that I've been running for 150 cycles and I love it, I'm not saying it because I'm sponsored by Phantom. I'm not sponsored by Phantom. I just love these companies because their product is quality, and I think you're only as good as your equipment in RC racing. I think that there's a lot of really good drivers that might be running like a crappy servo, whatever company it is. I'm not going to say anything bad about any companies, but if they're running a crappy servo with no type of quality control and poor customer service, and they're losing races because their car won't steer correctly, then maybe they should listen to my advice and just at least try an MKS 550 or try a ProTech that somebody recommends or whatever it might be. Look at the fast drivers at the track and see what equipment they're running. More than likely, if they're like a world-class level driver and they're running an MKS servo, then it's probably safe to assume they're pretty badass products. They're not running it just because they're sponsored. They're running it because it's really good, and it's what they use to steer their RC. You're going to spend $1,000 or $1,200 investing on this thing between the chassis, the motor, the ESC, the servo, the tires, the wheels, everything that goes on it, and then you're going to put you're going to skimp on the servo that steers the car. That makes zero sense to me. Think about it. Racing an RC car. How important is steering? It's pretty dang important. Anyhow, just a little bit about that Southern Nats recap and post-Southern Nats drama. I'll keep you all updated. If I see anything absolutely ridiculous on the forums, maybe I'll make a little video montage of the most ridiculous things that people say about getting beat by a 5-year-old. But anyhow, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I'm going to get out of here and go get my 3-year-old, and hopefully she'll be racing soon. Maybe she could be smoking some grown adults by the time she's 5. But anyhow, CJ Moto is going to get out of here, and I love y'all. I love the hobby. I hope we all enjoy what we're in it for. I hope we all remember what we're in it for and just try to be respectful to each other And if anyone feels as I've disrespected them in any way, it has not been my intention. It really, truly has not. Hit me up on Facebook anytime. We can chat. I will talk to you. We can hammer out our differences. And that's the other thing. It's hilarious because when you're at the track, everyone gets along great. You never hear anything negative. And then 2 days later on the forums, it's like World War III out there. But anyhow, hope y'all enjoyed this video. Like, share, and subscribe. Check out my channel. More great things to come. We still got the EB48.4. I'm going to keep it. I'm not getting rid of it. I'm going to keep running it. I'm going to get the new 2.0 when it comes out, e-buggy. And I'm going to be doing direct compare contrast videos of my driving with this car compared to the new car. My lap times being compared. My experience being compared. There might be things I like about this car more than the new car. Who knows? But I'm pretty sure the new car is going to be pretty legit. Anyhow, CJ Moto out.
You ever had a dream
On the tone, here we go.
that you what you could don't, you could you don't, you could you want don't, you could you what you could don't, you could you don't, you could.
Nine minutes left.
We got Mark Anderson in the one here over the front side double. He gets it wrong. Cameron Elvin now taking back over that number one spot. Here coming into the six pack now. Tony running in that three. It actually got everybody, so. Careful on the backside of the crossover. It's clear. It's like Tony has made the move into that number two.
8 minutes left.
Mark to the three. Swayford in the four. Josiah running in at five. Solid white down the front straight. Oh, excuse me, Tim is solid white. John in the six. Josiah for the seven. And Robert running in that eight spot. Metzger now taking over that number five. Tim to the
7
six.
minutes left.
5 and 6, closest battle over the crossover. I got all kinds of mixed up now. See if I can make this out. All right, so we should have Cameron in the 1.
6 minutes left.
I believe that's John in the 2. Swayford in the 3. Tim in the 4 now. Tim running 2, Anderson for the 3, Paulini 4, Metzger running 5, Elvin to the 6. Robert running 7, Josiah for the 8.
Five minutes left.
5 minutes down, 5 minutes to go. Your leader here down the front straightaway. Looks like Calvin back into the 2. Not Calvin, Cameron, I'm sorry. Tony in the 3, Metzger in the 4. Tim for the 5, Robert 6, Mark 7. 5, 6, and 7 all together. Coming over the crossover now.
Four minutes left.
6 minutes in, 4 to go. Swayford still out front now with a 7.3 second lead over Cameron. Cameron's got 3.1 over Metzger. Metzger's got 2.6 over Tony. Tony with 3 seconds over Anderson. Anderson with 1.5 over Tim. Tim's got 3 over Robert. Robert with 4 over Josiah.
3 minutes left.
7 minutes down and 3 minutes to go. Josiah moving
2
up
minutes left.
Josiah moving up into that 7, Mark to the 8. Metzger and Tony look to be my closest battle on the field. It's going to be them here down the front straightaway. Tony now moving into that number 3, John to the 4, 3 and 4 over the crossover together. Closest race on the field.
1 minute left.
9 minutes in, 1 minute to go. Open the e-buggy will be next.
45 seconds left. Thirty seconds left. Fifteen seconds left.
Finish your
Tim
lap.
Massey done. Mark Anderson done. Shannon Swafford done. Cameron Elvin done. John Metzger done. Tony Polini done. Robert Hoddard done.
I got 1 to finish.